Hello and welcome to Byjus Exam Prep IAS. Let's get started and look into our daily quiz. Let's look into the first question. Consider the following pairs. We have the GI product on one side, the state or the union territory on the other side. Blue pottery is from the state of Rajasthan, Pattachitra paintings, Odisha, bark prints, Chhattisgarh, rice giraffe wool, Madhya Pradesh. How many pairs given above are correctly matched? The answer to this is only two pairs. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article on the PIB makes a reference to the GI tag as well as the products associated with that state. What we have is two products which are correctly matched. We have the blue pottery, yes, it is from the state of Rajasthan. Then we have Pattachitra paintings, yes, it is from the state of Odisha. But when it comes to bark prints, it is not from the state of Chhattisgarh, but instead it is from the state of Madhya Pradesh. And when it comes to rice giraffe wool, it is from the state of Chhattisgarh and it is not from the state of Madhya Pradesh. Since the question is asking for how many pairs are correctly matched, only two pairs are correctly matched, and the answer to this would be B, which is nothing but only two pairs. When we look into this article, it speaks about different products which have been accorded the GI tag. Let's look into it. We have Kulu shawl from Kulu, Himachal Pradesh, Darjeeling tea from Darjeeling, West Bengal, blue pottery is from Jaipur, Rajasthan, Birdi ware from Bidar, Karnataka, Pattachitra paintings from Puri, Odisha, bark prints from Dar, Madhya Pradesh, coffee from Wayanad, Kerala, Bastar craft from Kondungaon, Chhattisgarh, and rice giraffe wool is from Balrampur, Chhattisgarh. The tagging is intended to create awareness about the sources of products representing different districts of India. What do we understand by the GI product? When we speak about a GI product or a GI tag that is associated with a particular product, it is an indication. Indication of what? That particular product is from a particular territory. So we have the Pattachitra paintings, which is from Puri, Odisha, which means the authenticity of this product is ensured. So if there are people who are producing a particular product and they go on to claim that this is from a specific territory, and if it is not so, they can also be penalized as well. So what we have is identification of agricultural, natural or manufactured goods which can be accorded this GI tag as per Geographical Indications of Goods, Registration and Protection Act of 1999. This tag is issued by the Geographical Indication Registry under the Department of Industry, Promotion and Internal Trade, which is nothing but under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So remember, this should have a special quality, this should have a special reputation, this should have unique characteristics which is very specific to that regional territory, and this can also be manufactured goods as well, and such products will be given what is called as the GI tag. Now let's look into the next practice question. Exercise Desert Flag is an annual multinational large force employment warfare exercise hosted by Qatar Emiri Air Force, Royal Air Force of Oman, Royal Saudi Air Force, United Arab Emirates Air Force. The answer to this is United Arab Emirates Air Force. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article on the PIB makes a reference to exercise Desert Flag. Let us try and understand what is this exercise Desert Flag. This happens to be one of the exercise which is held where in UAE. This is held in UAE in one of the air bases called as the Al Dhafra Air Base. There can be another question which asks you, Al Dhafra Air Base was recently in news. It is part of which country? So remember, Al Dhafra Air Base is located in United Arab Emirates. So what we currently have is Indian Air Force contingent comprising of about 110 air warriors who have arrived at Al Dhafra Air Base of United Arab Emirates. So this happens to be a multilateral air exercise where air forces from multiple countries come up to this place. They also participate in diverse fighter engagements and they go on to learn from each other's experiences. So once they engage actively with each other, one, the bilateral relationship will also increase and they tend to learn from each other because of these exercises. As of now, we have UAE, France, Kuwait, Australia, UK, Bahrain, Morocco, Spain, Republic of Korea, and USA who would be participating in this desert flag exercise, which is initiated by the United Arab Emirates. India also conducts bilateral exercises with UAE. India has India United Arab Emirates BILAT, which means it's a bilateral naval exercise between India and United Arab Emirates. And as part of the assignment, you have to put on the comment section what is the bilateral air force exercise between India and UAE. We have the naval exercise, which is nothing but BILAT, but what I want you to do is put what is the air force exercise between India and UAE. We also have number of multinational exercises as well. One happens to be pitch black. What is this pitch black? This happens to be a biennial war exercise hosted by the Royal Australian Air Force. This is normally hosted in Northern Australia, primarily at RAAF bases, Darwin, and the aim of the exercise is basically to practice offensive counter air, defensive counter air in a simulated war environment. And as part of the assignment, you have to put on the comment section what is exercise red flag, which country hosts this exercise red flag. Now let's look into the next practice question. Which of the following statements are correct with respect to Niti Aayog? The governing council of Niti Aayog comprises the president, prime minister, chief ministers of all states and union territories with legislature, lieutenant governors of other union territories, ex officio members. A maximum of 6 members of the Union Council of Ministers will be nominated by the prime minister. The chief executive officer is appointed by the prime minister for a fixed tenure in the rank of secretary to the government of India. Which of the statements are correct? The answer to this is 3 only. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article on the PIB makes a reference and says Niti Aayog welcomes BVR Subramaniam as its CEO. Let us try and understand what are these statements. When you look into the first statement, the governing council of Niti Aayog comprises the president. This does not involve the president. It includes prime minister, chief minister of all states and union territories with legislature. For example, we have Delhi, we have Puducherry, so we now have the union territory of Jammu and Kashmir as well. So we have chief ministers from these union territories which have the legislature, and in those which do not have the legislature, it is represented by the lieutenant governor. So the first statement is wrong because it makes a reference to the president. The second statement reads ex officio members, maximum of 6 members of the Union Council of Ministers to be nominated by the Prime Minister. Its number is not 6, but instead it is 4. So the second statement is also wrong, and when you look into the third statement, it is right. The chief executive officer is appointed by the Prime Minister for a fixed tenure in the rank of secretary to the government of India. Yes, the third statement is right. Since only the third statement is right, the answer to this would be B. Now, what is the composition of the Niti Aayog? What we have is the chairperson, which is the Prime Minister of our country. Then the governing council includes CMs and lieutenant governors, regional councils formed on need basis comprising CMs and lieutenant governors, members. We have the full-time basis members. Then we also have part-time members. It is maximum 2 rotational basis from relevant institutions. Then we have ex officio members, maximum of 4 from the Council of Ministers nominated by the Prime Minister. Special invitees includes experts, specialists, practitioners with domain knowledge, Chief Executive Officer appointed by the Prime Minister for fixed tenure who will be of the rank of the Secretary, and Secretariat will be taken up as and when it is necessary. Niti Aayog is also based on 7 pillars of effective governance, which is pro-people, pro-activity, participation, empowering the people, inclusion of all, which means SC, ST, OBC, minorities, Garib Gao Kisan. Then we have equality of opportunity for the youth and transparency, making the visibility of the government actions and programs more transparent than being opaque. Now let's look into the next practice question. With respect to Indian Bureau of Mines, which of the following statements are correct? It came into existence in 1948, Based on the recommendations of the National Mineral Policy Conference, the objective of the IBM is to promote systematic and scientific development and optimum utilization of mineral resources of the country, both onshore and offshore. It functions as a national technical regulator in respect of the mining sector and lay down regulations, procedures, and systems to guide the state governments. Which of the statements are correct? The answer to this is 1, 2, and 3. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article on the PIB makes a reference to the Indian Bureau of Mines, which is why we have taken this practice question. When you consider the Indian Bureau of Mines, it has number of functions. What are these functions? One, when it comes to the Indian Bureau of Mines, it promotes the conservation of mineral resources by way of inspection of the mines. It also conducts geological studies as well, and it also scrutinizes and approves mining plans and mining schemes as well. And the objective of the IBM is to promote systematic and scientific development and optimum utilization of mineral resources of the country, to collect, collate, and organize into a database all information on exploration, prospecting, mines, and minerals in the country in the shape of National Mineral Information Repository, and take steps to publish and disseminate the same, function as the national technical regulator in respect of the mining sector, and lay down regulations, procedures, and systems to guide the state government, to build up capacity in the system, both for regulatory as well as the developmental work at the central level as well as at the level of the state, to promote research on all aspects of practical relevance to the industry, provide technical consultancy services, advise government on all matters relating to the mineral industry. And do note, the IBM has about 4 zonal officers, 13 regional officers, 2 regional ore dressing laboratories, and pilot plants spread across the length and breadth of the country. It is headed by the Controller General. IBM has about 6 technical divisions, and as part of the assignment, you have to put where is the headquarters of Indian Bureau of Mines. Now let's look into the next practice questions. In India, what is the role of the Coal Controllers Organization? Why did we speak about Indian Bureau of Mines? Because in the past, UPSC has asked questions related to Coal Controllers Organization. So similar such organizations or institutes can also be asked, which is why we picked up Indian Bureau of Mines. Now when we speak about Coal Controllers Organization, let's look into the statement. CCO is the major source of coal statistics in Government of India. It monitors progress of development of captive coal or lignite blocks. It hears any objection to the government's notification relating to acquisition of coal bearing areas. It ensures that coal mining companies deliver the coal to end users in the prescribed time. Which of the statements are correct? The answer to this is 1, 2, and 3. The first 3 statements are right, but the fourth statement is wrong. That is because ensuring that the coal mining companies deliver the coal to end users in the prescribed time is not the function of the Coal Controllers Organization. The first 3 statements is the role of the Coal Controllers Organization, but when it comes to the fourth one, it is not. This happens to be a previous year question from the year 2022. Now let's look into the fact of the day. The fact of the day for today's discussion is right to be forgotten. The right to be forgotten is the right to remove or erase content so that it's not accessible to the public at large. It empowers an individual to have information in the form of news, videos, or photographs deleted from internet records so it doesn't show up through search engines like the Google. Let me simplify this process for you. Let's assume for a moment there is a person. This person believes that his right to privacy is getting violated, or this person believes that there is some information on the internet which is not right. It might also be wrong as well, or there is some personal information which is on the internet. The minute this person's information is browsed on any of the browsers, it immediately gives us search results. What if this person believes in right to privacy, does not want this information to be reflected in any of the search engines? So he goes to the court of law, files a case, and if the court of law so accepts, this person's information is completely removed. This person's information can be present on, let's say for example, indianqanun.com, or it can also be present on the search engines like the Google as well. You give the information, this person's information appears on the search result of the Google, so he goes to the court of law. The court of law accepts it and immediately directs the search engine or the website to remove this person's name, which is called as right to be forgotten. So it means that this person's name will be deleted from the internet search list, which is called as right to be forgotten. We recently have one of the cases, which is Dr. Ishwar Prasad Gilda versus Union of India and others. What exactly happened in this particular case? In this case, who is a world-renowned figure in the fight against HIV/AIDS, was accused of offences under the Indian Penal Code. He was booked under various sections of the Indian Penal Code, which is section 304A, which is 417, section 170, so on and so forth. The doctor was accused of illegally procuring the medicines from abroad and also administering these medicines that he procured from abroad to patients in India whom he was accused of mishandling, whom he was accused of negligence as well. And when one of the patients passed away, he was booked under all charges of IPC. After a considerable period of time, he files a case in the court of law. He was acquitted by the court of law as well. This conviction was not upheld, and he was said that he did not conduct any activities illegally, and as a result of which he was completely acquitted. But now, if this person's name is given in the search engine, what would happen? The search engine would give this person's name in a negative limelight, and as a result, this person's reputation was at stake. So now he goes to the Delhi High Court and asks the Delhi High Court to direct the Google search engine and many other websites to remove his name from their websites as well as from being listed on the website. So this is what is called as right to be forgotten. So the search engine and other websites will not be able to reflect his name. That is what is called as right to be forgotten. We also have another case as well, that is Joravar Singh Mundi versus the Union of India. What exactly happened? This is a case where an American citizen approached the Delhi High Court when back in the year 2021. For what? For seeking the removal of all publicly available records of a case registered against him when it comes to the Narcotics, Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act. We know for the fact that if there is a person, if we have to find out about this person, we give the name of this person in the search engine. So whenever this person's name was given in the search engine, it always came with negative issues about this person. So this was a problem to the reputation of the person. Even if employment had to be provided, he was not provided employment primarily because he was booked under the drugs cases. Previously as well, this right to be forgotten was a case which was also discussed in the Delhi High Court. Now, if we have to look into a law, do we have a specific law which speaks about right to be forgotten? The answer is a no. We have one of the important sections, which is section 43A of the Information Technology Act. This section primarily goes on to say that organizations who possess sensitive personal data and fail to maintain appropriate security to safeguard such data, resulting in wrongful loss or wrongful gain to anyone, may be obligated to pay damages to the affected person. Then we also have the IT rules of 2021, though it does not include the right. They do, however, lay down the procedure for filing the complaints with the designated grievance officer. But do remember, we have the Puttaswamy judgment as well. The Puttaswamy judgment also spoke about the right to privacy. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. All the best.